Welcome back everyone. The iPhone 11 Pro Max has actually been out for about 2 years now, and one thing I can tell you about this device is that, in my opinion, as most of you may know already, it is one of my favorite iPhones that have ever came out. It looks beautiful, it performs extremely well. Compared to the 12 Pro Max, it isn't even that big of a difference, and on top of everything, it's being sold much cheaper than a lot of the other iPhones that have been coming out, especially a lot of the other phones that have been coming out. So if you're in the market, I'll leave one link down below from Amazon. You can get it from there and help support the channel at the same time. Now, physically, this phone has held up extremely well. In fact, when I look at some other phones across the market, this phone still feels more premium than a lot of other, phones that have been coming out, including the S21 Ultra, the OnePlus 9 Pro, even the 12 Pro Max. The 11 Pro Max still feels extremely good in the hand, and I have very few complaints about it in terms of a physical hardware standpoint. The panel's great. If it had 120 Hz, it'd be beautiful. Unfortunately, it doesn't. But again, it's not that big of a deal. The lightning port at the bottom, still works fine. But the back is one of my favorite things about this phone. You have that frosted glass back, which looks so good, it feels so good, and ultimately when I'm feeling it and holding it in the hand, it doesn't feel like a $300 phone or a $500 phone. It still feels like an over $1,000 phone, which is amazing to me. And that camera setup looks so good as well. It has that triple camera setup, megapixels and all that stuff, whatever. It has the ability to zoom in a lot and zoom out a lot, which is a very important thing to keep in mind in a camera standpoint. That telephoto lens and that ultra-wide sensor and that wide-angle lens are all extremely good lenses to have on a phone. I personally, when I was using my 11 Pro Max, I had a great time using it. I didn't use it as a main phone, but I did use it for a lot of videos and a lot of different things like that, and I did have a really good time using it. I think if you need to go buy a phone and you need a camera, this thing is going to be beautiful. 4K at 60 on the back and the front. And overall, it's a very solid camera for sure. Like I mentioned, I had a very, very good time using it. Now, software-wise, this thing obviously has held up extremely well too. It came out with iOS 13. Right now, we're already in the betas for iOS 15, and the future of this phone is going to be pretty well. It's going to be supported for a long period of time. And like I mentioned before, this is not going to be one of those phones that you're going to get today and it's going to be outdated tomorrow. Apple has continued to push out software updates for this thing, and throughout the duration of time, it hasn't really slowed down at all, which is another pretty big advantage of it. So for sure, this whole entire phone has held up extremely well as well. The battery life is also really good. It has the biggest size battery from any iPhone that's ever came out. So that's another huge advantage of this phone as well. Now, performance-wise, this is another pretty big advantage of this phone. That Apple A13 Bionic chip with 4 gigs of RAM is still a beast in my opinion. Now, obviously, the newer iPhones have more RAM and stuff, but like I mentioned before, this thing is still a very fast-performing phone. No matter what you're going to do with it, it's going to be able to handle pretty much everything you throw at it, which is another huge advantage of it. So in my opinion, this phone, 2 years later, still holds up extremely beautifully. I've had very few complaints about it, and I've mentioned time and time again that this is probably one of my favorite phones that have ever came out, and I think it's a beautiful iPhone for sure. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.